Good morning and welcome to your first news bulletin right here on TV3. We are coming to you live from our studios at Adesawe Kanda. We are also streaming live on Facebook at TV3 Ghana. My name is Safwa Boahine. Now coming up. Any attempt to recall Parliament will be impossible for the minority National Democratic Congress NDC members of Parliament to honor. We'll tell you why. Also, Electoral Commission orders printing houses to continue printing ballot papers following the disqualification of GFP's running mate Philip Apiakubi to replace Madam Ikriadonko. Also coming up, Bank of Ghana suspends foreign exchange trading license of Consolidated Bank Ghana for forex infractions. Details of this and many more coming up shortly. Please stay with us. We begin with your election command center, and to our first story. Majority Leader Alexander Afenyomarkin has urged the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, to reconvene the House to resume its duties. In a press statement released shortly after the Supreme Court upheld his suit, the Majority Leader said the decision of the Supreme Court represents a triumph for constitutional democracy and the rule of law. Let's take you through excerpts of the statement issued by Alexander Afenyomarkin on behalf of the Majority Caucus in Parliament. Okay. While we await the court's full written reasoning, its decision on this constitutional question is clear and binding. The Constitution does not grant the Speaker the power to declare parliamentary seats vacant. The Supreme Court's decision should not be seen as a victory for one side or defeat for another. Rather, it represents a triumph for our constitutional democracy and the rule of law. The ruling reinforces the principle that in our republic, every institution, no matter how exalted, must operate within the bounds of our constitution. And also, to my colleagues across the political divide, I extend a hand of friendship. The time has come for us to move beyond this episode and redirect our energies toward our primary duty, serving the good people of Ghana who elected us to represent their interest. To the Right Honourable Speaker, I reaffirm my utmost respect for your office and your distinguished service to our nation. This judicial interpretation of our Constitution should strengthen, not weaken, the relationship between leadership and members of the House. A member of Parliament on the ticket of the National Democratic Congress NDC for Odododio constituency, Edwin Ni Lante van der Poy, has expressed doubt in NDC MPs showing up in Parliament when the House is recalled following the Supreme Court's ruling that reinstates 4 members of Parliament whose seats were declared vacant. Speaking exclusively to TV3, he argued that any attempt to reconvene the House will be a waste of the time.
It's unfortunate that the Supreme Court will give a verdict like this when it's so obvious to every Ghanaian that this particular issue do not really need any interpretation, because black and white, any class 6 child can interpret, can just read it and understand. But they decided to have an interpretation. Unfortunately, their interpretation, if you do random sampling of many Ghanaians, they will tell you they are not happy with the Supreme Court's decision. We don't care about the ruling of the Supreme Court. We will respond to a call by the Speaker of Parliament. And we will sit down and evaluate that call, look at the timing, and see whether it is convenient for us to take that decision to leave our constituencies and come and sit down in Parliament to do government business. I can say this is the decision of many of us on our platform from the discussions we've had so far since the verdict came out. Majority close to 99% of us have decided not to respond to any call to come to the house to transact any business because we have much more important things to do in our constituencies. If the NPP are not ready to do the work of Parliament, we are not ready to assist them.
Let's go to the EC now, and the Electoral Commission has settled the controversy over ballot order concerns for the 2024 elections. Following the disqualification of Philip Apiakubi, the EC confirmed that the original ballot order will remain unchanged, averting potential chaos and protests over a reballoting or position reshuffle.
The death of Ghana Freedom Party founder and flag bearer, Madame Equia Donkor, stirred speculation about the implications of the presidential ballots currently being printed. Key questions emerged over whether the Electoral Commission would need to conduct fresh balloting and if party positions on the ballot paper would change. Addressing an emergency inter-party advisory meeting, chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Madame Jean Mensah, settled the dust. First, announcing the disqualification of Philip Apiakubi, the Ghana Freedom Party's replacement for Madame Equia Donkor.
They detected a number of errors and some illegalities with the form. The candidate's attention was drawn to these errors and the party was provided an opportunity to correct them. They did that. It was not in our bosom to provide the political party the opportunity to correct some of the illegalities that we found on the form. The commission wrote to the party and to the candidate disqualifying him from contesting the 2024 presidential election.
Madame Jean Mensah confirmed that the Commission will maintain the original ballot order for 2024, easing concerns of those worried about the potential impact of protests that might arise from a possible reballoting.
We are here to inform you of the Commission's decision to maintain the presidential ballot as it is. We are almost 90% complete with the printing of presidential ballots. The Commission would like to inform you that the printing would proceed on the current ballot as is, in the interest of time and to save this country millions of cedis.
Reacting to the disqualification, Ghana Freedom Party national organizer Richard Buttrey welcomed the news.
We all the party executives are happy about it. We made the proposal and the decision that in 2027 we are going to contest for the election.
The NDC, one of the parties that could have been most affected by a shift in ballot positions, also welcomed the EC's decision to maintain the original order.
We are okay with it. The ballot paper maintained. Our position is number 8. The number 8, the umbrella is still there. Nothing changes. It still maintains the same thing.
Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission is hopeful that legal provisions will be made to address scenarios where flag bearer passes away close to an election.
Still on the EC, and civil society organizations denied accreditation by the Electoral Commission to deploy election observers are demanding that the electoral body immediately rescinds its unilateral decision to withhold the accreditation for the December 7 polls. The organizations who decried their denial as having no basis and justification described EC's decision as a breach of their rights and an affront to Ghana's democracy. George Queenin, my colleague, reports.
The civil society organizations, including Center for Conflict Resolution, Jatike Center, Human Security Research Center, and FESF Foundation, are dumbfounded about the Electoral Commission's decision. For some of the organizations who have been observing elections since 2008, the action is worrying and also a disrespect to the integrity of the organizations. They are therefore demanding the immediate approval of the accreditation for the December 7 polls. Some questions they are begging answers to include the grounds on which the electoral body withheld the accreditation and the mechanisms the EC has put in place to assure citizens of free and fair elections in the absence of CSO observers.
The EC has a responsibility to be transparent in all its dealings as we go into this election, so as not to validate the perceptions that people have about the commission. So her unilateral decision to prevent these CSOs from observing the election, I must say, is a recipe for disaster. It is extremely dangerous. And for the sake of the peace and security of Ghana, Mrs. Jean Mensah, you have to rescind your decision.
Executive Director of the Center for Conflict Resolution, Lieutenant General Retired Arnold Kwenu, expects the Electoral Commission to do the needful.
The last time we participated in the ASIN one. So to be told today that no, you are not been selected without any reason whatsoever, I think it will be even good for us to know why, so that we correct our mistakes. No reason, and that's all. You have not been selected. Some people are accepted, others are not accepted. You can increase the credibility. You can bend it also.
The CSOs touted their deployment as essential as it contributes to transparency and credibility of the vote by ensuring a lower risk of electoral fraud and manipulation.
Now let's go to the camp of the NDC, and the next NDC government is committed to transforming Ghana's creative industry, beginning with a new national theatre in Kumasi to support content creators in the region. The plan also includes modernizing the Accra National Theatre with state-of-the-art equipment to serve as a creative hub for artists nationwide. John Mahama announced this at an engagement with creative artists in Kumasi on Tuesday.
Speaking at the Great Hall of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, the former head of state highlighted that his proposed film village would serve as a central hub for Ghanaian content production. A meeting with stakeholders from the creative arts industry emphasized the NDC's commitment to restoring the sector to its former prominence. The NDC under John Mahama has given the firm assurance that he will pay serious attention to the creative economy as it generates substantial income to Ghana's GDP.
In the arts village, no, baby, pursue your production, ubenya set no, and also a generating revenue, a discover and it will help to lower cost of production for your filmmakers. National Film Theatre, since China for boy you see Rollins Abreso, everything there is not been rehabilitated. Into from any other baby I say, oh, yeah, exhibition and I be sometimes curtains, no, you can't draw the curtains, stage, you know, I say, and you might be I say, and Temrena so say, you see, who ye send a bit to me about the creative industry.
His entourage then moved to Bodom in the Nkranza North constituency, where he commissioned a 12-bed maternity ward built and financed by the Lodina Foundation.
This beautiful initiative will make basic healthcare services free and accessible to all. The Lodina Foundation is committed to empowering women and children in all areas of life.
John Mahama expressed disappointment at the number of renal treatment centers in the country, promising to establish more under his health infrastructure projects.
We intend to open modern dialysis centers within reach of every Ghanaian because we seem to have a pandemic of kidney disease.
Let's go to the NPP now, and flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has promised people of Obuasi West of setting up community mining schemes when voted into power. The community mining schemes, according to the flag bearer, will ensure that miners in the Obuasi enclave engage in responsible mining.
The flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, was addressing party supporters at Obuasi West constituency. Obuasi is predominantly a mining community. Addressing party faithful, Dr. Bawumia said under his presidency, community mining schemes will be set up.
Licenses, community mining schemes, areas are community mining and small scale miners.
In a related development, the flag bearer has pointed out that despite the current global challenges, the NPP has performed better than the NDC. Addressing party supporters at Obuasi East, he said the NPP government has created more jobs and industries than the NDC government.
NPP, Yaba, notwithstanding, say yanya COVID, the global economic crisis in Aba. Every sector of the economy, we have performed better than him. We have created more jobs. We have built more roads, more railway, more airport, more schools, more hospitals, more public libraries, more sanitation facilities, more cocoa jobs, more agriculture, more industry, more factories, more Zongo development.
Now away from politics, and the Bank of Ghana has suspended the foreign exchange trading license of Consolidated Bank of Ghana, CBG, for 1 month, effective November 26, 2024, following breaches of foreign exchange markets regulations. The suspension, issued under Section 11, Clause 2 of the Foreign Exchange Act 2006, Act 723, is intended to address regulatory lapses and ensure compliance. In a statement, the central bank indicated that CBG license would be reinstated after the suspension period, provided the bank has implemented effective controls to meet regulatory standards. The Bank of Ghana also warned all foreign exchange market participants to strictly adhere to the relevant market regulations and guidelines. That'll be all for news this morning. New Day continues right after this break. My name is Safwa Boyne. Let's do this another time. Have a lovely day.
Dr. Baumia once said,
"We are building a new harbor in Cape Coast and a new airport in Cape Coast."
In 2020, we will promise an airport and a harbor. Fast forward to today, absolutely nothing. Show working. Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, 1 bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply
My head really aches, feeling cold and feverish.
Sorry. I know the solution to your problem. It is Procode.
Procode? I bought some 3 days ago, but I'm not seeing any improvement. You can even have a look.
Let me look at it. This is fake. Let's go to the drugstore. Please, we want Procode. No, not this.
Oh, but this does the same work, and it's even far cheaper.
No, we insist you give us Procode from Kojak. I don't understand why people give this fake Procode. And where they don't give the fake one, then they give you a similar one with a different name and tell you it works the same. But it is not so. The only Procode we know is from Kojak. If it's not Procode from Kojak, then we won't accept it.
Wow. So this is the original Procode. It has the logo and Kojak boldly written on it.
Yes, for quick and effective relief from headache, flu, nasal congestion and other feverish conditions, insist on Procode from Kojak.
Procode, K-O-J-A-C-H. Procode.
This advert is FDA approved.
In uncertain times, it can be hard to imagine yourself completing the CIMA professional qualification. But with our new digital-first learning and assessment platform, you can. The CGMA Finance Leadership Programme, or FLP, gives you control over your study progress. The CGMA FLP is a remote-based, self-paced learning platform that lets you qualify from home with online assessments and...
How do I look?
You look so gorgeous, Auntie.
Thank you. I hope my date feels the same. Am I not forgetting something?
Yes, obviously. Laura Mimi.
Thank you. Can I use the washroom, please?
Sure. Flora disposable handkerchief.